Hey guys, I have a huge announcement to make. Super excited. Your whole life is going to change. How does it get any better than that? So, I have some questions for you. Dear sisters and brothers, do you constantly do the same things over and over again and expect a different outcome? Are you frustrated with your lack of results when you're pushing so freaking hard and nothing seems to be changing? Do you feel like something is missing from your life, but you don't know what it is? Are you sick and tired of feeling wired and exhausted while feeling like a hamster on a wheel with no relief in sight? Well, I was too. I suffered for years. I battled with chronic pain, anxiety, and stress, eventually diagnosed with chronic fatigue and leaky gut. My adrenals were shot, and I was in constant survival mode, AKA fight or flight. I even had suicidal thoughts at times. I just really didn't want to be here. I've never been, I shouldn't say never, but I hadn't been really listening to my body. I was overworked, overstressed, overstimulated. I was pushing too hard, making shit happen. I had really perfected the toxic masculine energy in my life, in my world, in my body. And I wasn't nourishing myself at all. You know, I've always been one of those people that I could make shit happen, right? Just whatever it took, busting through walls, obstacles, whatever it was but at what toll did it take, right? On my body. Basically, my receiving channels were broken. You know, I was independent, living on my own. I could do it. I didn't need anybody. Basically, I was the only one that had my own back. I knew something had to change. I just knew. And it did. And you know, that was probably 10 years ago. So then began the journey to finding myself, to true healing, to deep diving into the world, the shadow self and parts of me, the parts of me that I didn't feel good about, the parts of me that I hid from anybody else, the parts of me that brought up feelings of shame and regret and remorse. And slowly but surely over time, I came to a place in a space where I started to like myself, right? Often we talk about learning to love ourselves, and people say, just love yourself and everything else will be great. Unfortunately, if you grew up in a dysfunctional family and you were taught very specific patterns and you were what you were used to and aware of and how other people showed you love, then that's what you know. So it's not that easy. It's not easier said than done, right? To be able to just love yourself. But over time, through the hundreds of books that I read, the many courses that I took and certifications and coaches that I hired and healers that I work with, things finally started to click. So yes, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, dear sisters and brothers. Yes, pain and suffering comes from resisting and avoiding what is. So what if everything you've been making yourself wrong for was the rightness that the world has been waiting for? Escapism The use and abuse of other things to keep our mind from being present with what needs to be tended to is the common thread to avoiding true healing. Perhaps there is something in your life that you are using as an excuse to not deal and heal. Things like drugs, alcohol, sex, food, shopping, binge watching TV, scrolling your phone, social media, whatever it is that you use to numb out or fill the void. Yeah. Take a moment and let that sink in for just a second. However, I'm here to tell you I have good news, right? The great thing is that there is a solution. You don't have to suffer endlessly, and you don't have to do it alone. How amazing is that? Remember, pain is inevitable and suffering is a choice. It doesn't have to be so freaking hard. You can heal your wounds and traumas that lay beneath the subconscious surface that are running the show. You can have freedom from chronic pain, stress, and anxiety and addiction. You can have an abundance of joy, self-love, and true emotional freedom. I have lived it. I have been there. And now I'm on the other side. Things are pretty good. People look at me now and think, well, everything's just so great, but they don't realize the long-term suffering that I had, even as a small child, that I started coming to the planet, never feeling like I ever really belong or, fit in. Sort of like an alien that was like just dropped into my body. So it is time for me to bring all of the magic that I have learned under one umbrella in one program that I have recently given birth to, literally 2 days ago. I know this sounds crazy, right? So I'm so excited to announce my debut foundational program, Know Thyself, the first program coming from the Sacred Rebel Academy that I have given birth to. So excited. We will dive deep into places that have been hidden from you, bringing them to the surface to be transformed and released, allowing for true healing to occur. We get to the root of all your sabotage and your procrastination and your choosing other things that are not serving you, that you know are not good for you. So what this program will help you do is to break the patterns, break the cycles. You will create awareness around the habits, your thoughts, your beliefs that have been running the show that no longer serve you, while creating new habits and behaviors that will nurture and cultivate a new way of being. More of who you truly are. By the end of the program, your knowledge of self will be heightened, allowing you to be more of you. So it's not that you're going to transform into something else. What we're going to do is we're really just going to chip away at all the bullshit, all the armor, all the masks that you have been wearing to get to you. Know thyself so that you can bring more of you to the world. Remember, the universe is always listening and wants to give you all that you need and desire. The trick is to ask and receive. So maybe your receiving channels are broken. We'll work on that. So whatever it is, whatever aspect of your life is not joyfully, amazingly, blissfully fabulous. And yeah, I understand it's not going to be like that all the time. But whatever aspect of your life, whether it be your career, your relationship with your friends, your family, your relationship with your partner, or lack of relationship, romantic, your health, your wealth, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself. So we will hit all of those aspects. And through a combination of clarity, gaining clarity on what it is that is no longer serving you, what habits, beliefs, thought patterns don't serve you anymore, and clearing. So the great news is once you know what isn't serving you anymore, whatever that habit or belief system is, you can then delete, destroy, and uncreate it. And the third aspect is choice, making new choices. Remember, you can make a new choice every 15 seconds and choose something else. So here it is. You're at a crossroads. You can just choose it or you can choose something else. It's totally up to you. If you'd like more information on the program, Know Thyself, click the link below. And I hope that you have the courage to step into a new way of being. I got your back, sisters and brothers. Sending love.